Hi everyone, how you going? I'll just give a couple of seconds for it to come online and see how we're going and see what people are around. So there's my notification telling me that I'm online. So I've got a bit of an update. So the other day I put up a post about raising some funds for some travelling costs. I'm going to need to be in Canberra. That's why we need funds. And also another event that will be taking place on around about the same time for Brisbane. So, which means I'm going to need travel costs, some accommodation, some fuel costs to be able to help somebody also join me with the other event which we're working on. There's a lot of things going on that I can't discuss because it's not just our group. So, but one thing I want to try and get done in the next week or so, no, the cashless debit card is not stopping, unfortunately, Tahalia. We would like it to stop. We're not going to stop fighting it. But in the next week or so, if we can get the funds up, I'd like to be able to get a couple of new banners made up and sent to other crews around the country so that they've got things for their groups. Do you know what I mean? Like the Tasmania group could do with their own banner down there and stuff like that for things that they need to do. Can't do anything without you guys helping. So if you can help, let me know. Send me a message. All right. Yeah. Yes. Need to go to Canberra and really do need to go to Canberra. Okay. So as things get sorted and I can release more information, I will in the next couple of weeks. But until then, it's just a matter of being able to raise the funds to be able to go, pay for the airfare and go. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all I can say. But I see there's a lot of chatter on the pensioners' pages, and there's a lot of talk. We don't know what the government's doing regarding the payments. We see comments today about the payments for people on job seeker and youth allowance, suggesting that it won't go back to the $40 a day, but it won't be the $50 a day that it is now. Well, that's an absolute joke, isn't it? It needs to be raised, and it needs to be put back to that 550 raise, because that's what it should have been in the first place. That's what it would have been if the indexing hadn't been frozen by John Howard in 1996. So it's not about a raise, it's about restoring it to what it should have been if it hadn't been frozen in the first place. You know, people aren't asking for any more than that. They just want it put to where it should have been. You know, because yeah, it's getting beyond a joke. There's a lot of concern out there and a lot of stress and a lot of worry. JobKeeper, job seeker being cut down. The omnibus bill to attack workers' wages and conditions. The perfect storm of the end of the moratoriums in different states on rents, and you know, rent prices for the NRAS in South Australia are going up to full rents as well, so people are losing their rentals. And the emergency housing crisis, there is no housing crisis, you know, there's no housing available. So Wyatt Wright says the Greens stopped it from getting lowered, but is there any info on what the government is doing next? Not really, no. We just have to wait and see what's going on with what. So the Australian ran an article today that was subscriber only, so we couldn't see it. UK Mail ran the article but didn't explain too much. Yeah, Wyatt Wright says he used an inflation calculator, and the COVID-19 supplement, the first one was how it should have been due to inflation changes. That's right. If it hadn't been frozen by John Howard in the first place, right, the rate that Social Security was the COVID first supplement, the 550 raise. That's what it should have been. And yeah. So oh dear. Okay. I just thought I'd pop in for an update and say, look guys, if you can chuck some dollars into the account. The post is a bit further down the page. We're just trying to organise so that I'll have the money to get an airfare together and the necessaries to travel to do some stuff. I can't talk about what we're doing at the moment because I'm not the only one involved, and we're doing a whole lot of other stuff. But as soon as I can make things public, I will. Yeah, we just need to make sure the account's able to accommodate what I can do for you guys, and representing you guys around the country as well, and make sure that we're there in the thick of it when the time comes. Wyatt Wright says it's incredible how much economic growth there has been, but people are being kept out. Well, that's because all of our wealth is being transferred upwards to the wealthy and not downwards to the people. That's the bottom line. We are being asset stripped, financially screwed by this government, and they're selling everything off. And they've been doing it for nearly 8 years. And they don't give a damn about the people. That's the bottom line. It's about the profits for their mates, like the cashless debit card, the Parents Next programs, the job agencies, Job Active Network, right? Any way to screw the poor and the low-paid workers and the unemployed and the underemployed and the disabled and the sick, right, and the elderly. Look what they've done to our aged care sector. Our politicians strut around at $181 a day food budget, and our elderly are sitting in nursing homes, sitting in Pearson eating $6 meals. It's disgusting, right? And we need to take all of this into consideration when the election is called. Don't vote these bastards back in. Don't let them have these votes, right? We need a change, and we need a change for the people, not for the businesses, and not for the corporations, and not for the bosses, right? Because otherwise everybody's going to be working for peanuts and not have anything. And the poor are going to be on the streets, whether you're working or not. Because if you can't afford rent, you can have a full-time job and still not afford rent. 65% of the people that are rough sleepers in Sydney have full-time jobs. They can't afford rents. Rents have gone crazy out here. We've got a housing crisis out here. And what can we do? We need housing. We need services. The rates of sustainable, livable social security and wages for everybody. And like I said to 7 News White Bay last week, whether you're 17 or 70, all payments have to go up. It's not, and we have to bond together here. The government will do anything to set the pensioners against the unemployed youth, right? We'll give them more money, but we won't raise the rates for the pensioners, and blah, blah, blah. Everybody needs to stand together here. And that's the bottom line. We need to stand together. We need to stand up. And the pensioners need to stand up to protect their grandchildren and their adult kids from this system. And the only way they can get change for themselves is to stand up for their families as well. So, all right, guys, well, I'll let you go. I haven't really got a lot to report back in at the moment. No doubt there'll be an announcement tomorrow by Josh Frydenberg, or whenever they feel like doing it. And we'll have a look at it then, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, thanks for your support, guys. See ya.